Hey guys, before I start today's video, I just wanted to say thanks to anyone that subscribed already. At last count I had 43 subscribers and I've only been doing this for just over a week now. I know they're not huge numbers as far as YouTube's concerned, but I don't know, it's a big deal to me and I just wanted to say thanks for the support. So today I thought I might talk about my expenses living in the van to give you an idea of what it's like as far as monthly expenses, set up a bit of a budget and show you the difference between now and when I was living in an apartment, renting. I've split it up into what I'd consider to be essential expenses and non-essential, just like optional things. And then I also worked out how much rent used to cost me and electricity and things like that and factored that in to show you the difference. So yeah, on the essentials list, I've got food, fuel, my phone, car insurance and registration, gas for cooking, and what was the other one? Oh yeah, maintenance. So as far as food's concerned, my monthly budget for food is about $400. It could be a lot less, but I tend to eat a lot of organic stuff. I try and eat really healthy if I can, so my food budget tends to be a lot higher than most people's. You could probably do it for about half that if you weren't eating organic and stuff like that. So about $400 a month for me. Fuel, I budget about $200 a month. It could be more than that, could be less, depending on how much I'm driving, obviously, but I'd say on average about $200 a month. My phone costs me about $100 a month, and there are cheaper plans out there, but I wanted to get one with good network coverage because I'm not always around like the city and the suburbs, and sometimes when you go further out in the country, the cheaper providers don't have such a good service. So I thought I'd rather pay a bit extra and be able to use my phone anywhere. So yeah, $100 a month for my phone. Registration and insurance for my van, I pay my registration every 6 months and I pay my insurance monthly, but I just worked out what they cost on average a month together. It's about $140 for that. It could be more expensive if I chose to get full comprehensive insurance, and it could be cheaper if I was uninsured, but I don't recommend doing that to anyone really. I was uninsured when I was younger and I got into a small accident and it ended up costing me a few $1,000s, which I was paying off for months. So yeah, I definitely recommend just getting some insurance. What else? Oh yeah, my gas. So we call it gas here in Australia. I think you call it propane in the States. It's just what I use for my stove and my heater. So yeah, that cost me about $20 a month. It's not a big expense, but got to factor it in there. And then the last one on the list is like maintenance on the van. So getting tire changes and oil changes, things like that. I save a lot of money because I do all the mechanical work myself. I've always been a bit of a handyman, and I like to do things myself. I don't really like paying someone money to do something that I can do. So if I need something done on the car or on the van, sorry, I just find out how to do it myself and fix it that way. It does still cost me money, obviously, for parts and oil and stuff, so I factor in about $100 a month for that. And yeah, I'd say that's probably all of my essential expenses. Then there's the optional extras. I mean, I pay a bit extra for internet. I pay about $30 a month for some mobile internet because my phone obviously doesn't have quite enough for my needs. But it's not an essential thing. And then there's things like credit cards and loans, which if you can help it, I'd say stay away from, but obviously sometimes you need it in an emergency. So yeah, loans and credit cards. And what else is there? Oh yeah, obviously, like I said before, I don't pay for mechanics, but for someone that doesn't do their own mechanic work, that would be an extra that you'd have to factor in. And then the last thing I put down was campsites. I don't personally stay in campsites, but you know, some people that aren't so worried about money might want to stay in a campsite. It just, when you start doing that every night, the expenses, you might as well be renting for the price of a campsite. So that's why I mean, part of the reason I got into the van in the first place was for financial reasons. You know, I wanted to save money. The total for my monthly expenses for all the essential stuff is about 950 Australian dollars. For anyone that's in the States, it's about 680 US dollars at the moment with the exchange rate, which, you know, is pretty cheap living. When I lived in my apartment, it was about $1,500 a month in rent and another $200 a month in electricity and water. So, I mean, you add $1,700, you're looking at like just over 2,600 bucks to basically just have all the essentials plus rent and electricity. I think I worked out the average wage is about the same, so you end up breaking even, and it hardly seems worth it at the end of the week to work full-time and just break even. So now hopefully you can see why I chose to live the van life. You know, I mean, I'm spending probably less than half as much a month as I was, so that's a big change. You know, it leaves me a lot of freedoms. I can either work the same amount and end up with a lot more money, or I can work a lot less and have a lot more free time to explore and, you know, adventure. I'd recommend it to anyone that's interested, and hopefully seeing how much it costs in dollars, you know, like, it gives you a better idea of how possible it is. And yeah, hopefully this has helped you in some way, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, I hope you liked the video. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And if you want any questions answered, just leave a comment and I'll see what I can do. Bye.